In news just in, the Judicial Service Commission has shortlisted 5 candidates to fill 2 positions at the Constitutional Court. The Commission has been holding interviews since this morning. The names will now be sent to the President. Our reporter Heidi Giokos following proceedings for us. She joins us now live. So Heidi, tell us, who are the 5 people shortlisted?
Yes, indeed, Shahan, it's been quite a long day, starting around 9 o'clock this morning. And we understand that the Judicial Service Commission just announcing the 5 candidates out of the 7 that were interviewed. We do understand that it's Judge Faiza Kathrisetwane, Judge Jody Copland, Judge Ramaka Motope, Judge Mahabu Molema, as well as Judge Bash Valley. These are the top 5 names that have been selected by the Judicial Service Commission for the 2 positions at the Constitutional Court. The President will then pick the 2 to fill those 2 positions at the Constitutional Court. Of course, it's important to highlight, Shahan, that these interviews were redone. They were initially done in April this year, but because of a High Court ruling indicating that these interviews need to be redone, the Judicial Service Commission immediately decided to conduct these interviews again, and this is why we are seeing this rerun of the interviews. So many of these candidates and these judges had to repeat a lot of what they said in April. But the reason why these interviews are being redone is because the questioning and the concern that was raised around the questions that were posed to the judges and to the candidates, and how NGOs said that it was almost unconstitutional and unlawful in the manner in which these interviews were conducted by then President of the JSC, who was the Chief Justice Mogoeng. So those are the top 5 names that have been selected by the JSC, and this will be handed over to the President to decide. We understand that this will most likely be given to him as soon as possible for the decision to be made by November, so that these 2 judges will be appointed to the Constitutional Court by as early as January next year.
So Heidi, of course, this round of questioning is quite important because we wouldn't want any challenges this time around. Raymond Zondo is now presiding over this matter. He's been carefully, basically, allowing the questions to go through, but also when he was concerned at any point, he would help those people asking questions out.
Yes, certainly, and I think it's a critical point to highlight the fact that this time around the questioning was a lot more controlled in a way that there were no personal attacks made on people or no questions around personal friendships with specific individuals. Just because they are judges doesn't mean they need to be questioned in their personal capacity. So definitely Acting Chief Justice Raymond Zondo trying his very best to control the situation, because you had a situation in April where commissioners such as Julius Malema and other commissioners almost taking a jab at the judges and the candidates that were being interviewed. For example, Judge Pillay was interviewed in April, but she decided to withdraw this time around because of how the interviews were conducted. There were huge concerns over that, and this is why CASAC indeed decided to go to the High Court to have this interview process redone. So a lot more controlled, an environment that seemed a lot more friendlier compared to what we experienced in April. So, Shahan, it was a lot better, and I must say there were a few jokes that were cracked here and there, so it seems as though the judges had a better experience compared to what happened in April.
Yeah, all right. Thanks so much for that. Appreciate it. Heidi Giokos following that story for us.